I saw his mouth open. That's the only way I knew to set.
All right, good. Look at that.
Good.
Yellowstone pepper.
Yeah, back in the water.
Goodbye, boy. Flat. Right over there. That's it. It'll be fun. Kind of keep the drag on. Again, I'll help you. See if it's interesting. Longer it stays, the better. That's it.
Hi, I'm Kelly Watt. Welcome to Fly Fishing Video Magazine.
And the Ashley National Forest. Behind us is the Flaming Gorge Reservoir and Dam.
Below which the Green River continues its journey, cold, clear, and loaded.
With several species of large trout, just waiting to take your fly. The Green River is part of the Ashley National Forest, administered under the Flaming Gorge Recreation Area, and can be found in northeastern Utah, about 385 miles east of Salt Lake City. It's a beautiful, clear river with an average year-round temperature in the lower 50s. It's divided into 3 sections. Section A begins at the Flaming Gorge Dam and winds its way through steep rock canyon walls for 7.2 miles to Little Hole. That's where Section B begins. It's a 9-mile stretch ending at Browns Park, Indian Crossing, which is the beginning of Section C, which for all practical purposes runs another 9 miles or so. Each piece of the river is unique. We'll show you how and why. Now for a look at the most famous part of the Green River, Section A, or Red Canyon as it is sometimes called. Brought to you by STH Reels, a new affordable concept in fly reels for the 90s. This is early October, just below Flaming Gorge Dam. And this is Dennis Breer, who with his partner Grace own and run Trout Creek Flies, one of 12 licensed outfitters on the river. He has 4 other guides working for him, and last year was one of the top 3 guide services for number of trips taken down the river. A good operation with a lot of hours on the green.
Well, it's we're basically looking at 26 miles of trout stream in Utah. And we kind of break it down in 3 different sections. This is what we're floating today is what's known as the A section among the outfitters and the Forest Service. It's 7.5 miles. It starts at the Flaming Gorge Dam and runs down to Little Hole. And Little Hole was one of Powell's original campsites, so it's kind of a historical spot and site. And it was when he came out of the canyon and...
Good, how are you doing?
All right. It was when he first came out of the canyon and was able to rest after entering Red Canyon. So this section here is known as Red Canyon, and the middle section is what we call B, and that goes from Little Hole down into Browns Park, which is a historical area, formerly known as Browns Hole. There you go, Kelly. Got it right on her nose.
Didn't even look at it.
Okay, hit another one right out in the middle of the pool there.
Out in the middle?
Yeah, there's a couple of them cruising right out in there. If you see one, just, you know, between us and the bank, we've got 10 fish trapped right here.
Yeah.
You know, they're just milling around, and of course we're not bothering them much.
No.
The scenery on the green, deep canyon, high rugged cliffs, and crystal clear water, combined with a tremendous population of fish, makes it easy to see why the river has become so popular. Dennis tied on, for Kelly, a size 12 Royal Wolf with a little size 20 midge pupa dropper attached directly to the bend in the hook of the lead fly with a clinch knot. Incidentally, Bill Martins will explore a variety of droppers in his angling tip later.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh, a nice fish too. You got a little spunk to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hey, all right.
Gorgeous fish.
Where's the slag, Kelly? Where's the slag?
We could take it into the shore land.
That'd be fine. That's not a problem at all.
It's a little, makes for pretty.
Okay. We can certainly do that.
Oh, he came a foot out of the water.
Yeah, he did.
5 feet up.
There he is.
Well, we didn't have to wait a long time for our first fish.
In order to show you a better picture of the fish, we'll most often bring the boat to shore for the landing. Otherwise, the boat often blocks our and your view. Normally, Dennis would just land it on the fly in his varsity-sized bass net, which we found to be extraordinarily kind to the fish. It's a great idea from a new entrant this year into serious fly fishing, none other than Bass Pro Shops.
Back off and get you a little sunlight here. There we go, pretty looking fish.
Thank you.
That's a very common-sized Green River rainbow. What was that
Good
one? About
deal.
16 maybe or so?
That was
You know?
great.
Yeah. It was a nice,
Good deal.
nice rainbow.
So we'll get another one.
You bet. More to ourselves here. Yeah. The lower section that we fish is the Browns Park Run, and that's a 9-mile section. So we got two. The middle section's 9 miles of river, and then the lower section is another 9 miles of river.
Howdy.
And we'll get a chance to float all that while you're here, and hopefully you'll get a chance to look at all that and get a whole different point of view on each particular section. Each section has its own uniqueness. It's generally pretty clear all the year round. It's one of the first fisheries that really opens up in the springtime, and we get a lot of spring traffic over here because we are one of the few fisheries that stays viable during that time. A lot of the others go into their spring runoff or the water's too cold. And we've got some louvers in the dams that really maintain an ideal water temperature. And so that aspect of it really makes the fish growing year-round and the insects also growing, and just makes for ideal trout habitat. That's one of the things that they've really worked on hard here, is to develop quality trout habitat. And they had something great to work with to begin with, but they've done a fantastic job of doing the things that needed to be done to help it. In 1985, they introduced special regulations that really maintain an adult population of fish. Before, it was a lot of put and take, and they had bait fishing on the river, and they never had a slot limit. There was a liberal limit of trout, and so when they did those combinations of things, all of a sudden we've got what I think is one of the finest fisheries in the lower 48. And you can see the fish in here. You're fishing in an aquarium, and that's one thing that really excites people. I've gone places where I've gone fishing the whole day and never seen a fish, and you come down here and you start looking down these pools and you just see these monstrous trout. I mean, they really are quality fish. And I tell people when I do slideshows and different things like that, we've got some 17-inch average, pretty common fish, 17, 18s. We've got a good substantial population of 20-inch fish and some over that. And so when you tell people that you're going to be catching 17 fish as an average, they're doubtful, skeptical, let's put it that way, until they get here and they really get a chance to see it. So.
Kelly changed flies to a Royal Trude in front and a Mayfly imitation as the dropper.
Come on. He looked at the big one, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right. We can get him intercepted there. There's got to be a big old fish. Now see how the fly's getting down there where he's going first? Yeah. That's good. That's what you want. You want that fly ahead of everything else. We should get a good look there. There, oh, he bumped it. Did you? Okay.
Kelly's using a 9.5-foot 4-piece G. Loomis 4-weight and an STH DDR reel. And one of our scientific anglers' weight forward Ultra 2 lines we dyed beige last year at the insistence of our New Zealand guides. Kelly's tippet is 9 feet, tapered to 3X, and the dropper is tied on with 5X tippet.
There. All right, good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he is.
I feel buddy with them.
You may have two on at one time there. I think he come after the other fly.
Look at all of them.
They got to see what the other one's got. That's
Peer pressure.
peer pressure, right? What do you got? Give me some of it. Give me. What do you got? What do you got? I want it.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, I'm gonna kick the boat in.
There
the
we
way
go.
There, we'll snuggle up to the bank here.
On the reel.
Now that's how important those edges are, and a lot of people won't, you know, think that the middle of the river is the place to be fishing all the time. But those edges, they watch that.
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty?
So
Nice dark
green.
fish, isn't he? All right, let's see if we can get settled up here. Pretty little rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I think that other fish might have come and got that other bug. I didn't see your little bug, did you?
No. On this way.
Okay. No, don't they have great color on them?
Just
You know, the
gorgeous.
color in them is, I had a guy from California one time who said, we caught the first rainbow, and he says, that's what they're supposed to look like. He said, we get silver ones, you know, they don't take on the color. But these fish in this river are magnificent examples of their species. They really bring out the best of their kind, and like the big cutthroats are real golden and real pretty fish. So.
Possibly one of the biggest reasons the green is
Right
so
below that big
popular
rock and that
is it
V
has
on the window
extraordinary
there,
dry
there's some
fly
heads coming up
fishing,
right
and the
there.
water is so
There you go.
clear you can watch the entire
I think you
scene
got took right
unfold
away,
as the
didn't you?
trout
Yeah.
approaches your fly.
Yeah, I think the
Just
current-
watching the
Oh,
fish
yeah.
feed is fascinating in and of itself. The other quality we like about the green, you can find a segment of the trout population to which you may cast anything from a size 22 midge pupa to a size 8 royal trude.
There you go.
Plus, fishing with nymphs, scuds, and a legion of other flies can be effective as well. Section A is only accessible by vehicle at each end, so the further downstream you move, the fewer walking anglers you'll encounter. The Forest Service has built a path on one side of the river to make walking easier. Incidentally, no overnight camping is allowed in Section A. However, below Little Hole in Sections B and C, one may camp wherever they wish. However, you must haul everything out and carry sanitation facilities to carry out human waste.
Oh,
That's it. Catch that current line. Good spot. Let
He's
him float
there.
down. He's there. Let it float right on by the rock there. There's a fish coming right to it, right there. He got
He
you,
ate it.
right there. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty?
I mean, it is so beautiful the way those fish take the fly.
They sneak up on it and then they
Yeah.
attack. Look at that. All right.
We
What-
dip
what-
him in the net, right?
You want to go to the bank? Or
No, this-
all right. There we go. All right. All right, settle down, fella.
Another 17.
There we
18.
go. Yeah, just another one of those old average ones right there. That's
Nasty old criminal.
rotten old
green
average
river.
ones. I know. And can't we get any big ones, like 100-pounders or something?
I don't know. Let's go sail fishing.
All right. Now, why don't you try head of the boat right up there, just the side of the weeds. There you go. So that we can turn anything going along this weed bed here. I'm seeing a number of noses right out in the middle there. And if you follow that foam line, kind of watch that foam line, you'll see heads. There you go. That's it. There, he's coming right to you. Come on, you want it. Can you see the next fish behind him? About 10 feet behind him. Good spot, good spot. Unless that's his tail we threw to, he ought to see that.
Could be.
Now you want to work yourself right into those weed beds on the edge over there, okay? All right, down a little bit further. You're right in the corner there. Right like that, there you are. Now you're prime. That's where we want to fish.
I'm looking.
Ah, they're jumping behind us. I'm gonna move us back in a little bit since the wind rolled us out of there. Let's slide right down into that rock. Yeah, good spot.
Can you see the fly? Is there a fish going to eat it? Now? I didn't.
Oh, he bumped it.
He bumped it.
He bumped it. He didn't eat. No, he didn't eat it. But if you'd have had nerves of steel, there you go.
Look at the fish follow him. Look at him.
Hello
She
there,
only
fella.
wants us to catch fish where she can see it.
Uh-huh. Well. He's already got my glasses. I wonder what else he's going to get. Hot little bugger. Oh, you must be free.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Coming up next, Bill Marks with his angling tip. Brought to you by G. Loomis, America's rod maker. Bill, what are you going to show us today?
We're going to talk about dropper fishing, fishing with a dropper fly. And that's a method of fishing 2 or more flies on the same leader. Most often it's done with 2 flies, but it's been done with 2, 3, or even 4 flies at times, but you always run the risk of getting all tangled up and making a real mess. The reason you might do it are actually quite numerous. One reason is that you may be searching for the pattern that's going to work right. You put on 2 flies to find out which one is going to work. So you use a dropper fly. And we'll go through the different methods of attaching these to your leader in just a second. Another reason would be to have a strike indicator as one of your flies. Sometimes they'll use in a stream situation a nice high floating dry fly. They'll go along and then a smaller nymph for something just under the surface that goes down and it works as a strike indicator. When the fish takes the nymph or the smaller fly underneath, it'll pull the strike indicator, the other dry fly, down. It'll also show you where your fly is at out in the current, where it's moving around, so you have a real good idea of where it's going, if it's going to the places you actually want it to fish. You can use it to search more water a lot quicker with using 2 flies, and sometimes you can catch 2 fish on the 2 flies. I've been crappie fishing many times when they'll take both of them. Trout fishing when they'll take both of them. Some saltwater fish will do the same thing when they'll take both flies. And that can be quite interesting that way. So we've got a number of them already made up here, so we would go through tying the knots in each one. And I'll go through telling about the knots, assuming that you can either look up how to tie them or know how to tie them already. This one we've tied a blood knot up here. And what you do to get this piece coming straight out perpendicular to your leader is just, when you tie the blood knot, just cut off one side of the blood knot and the other side sticks out, and to that you attach your fly. This can either be an attractor fly or a simulator fly or any kind of fly that might be used up on top of even a strike indicator. Down here at the other end, and this length can vary in here depending on how you want to fish this fly. You tie it on just the standard way as you would any other fly. This can vary, this length can vary. We have another one right here that is set up very much the same way. Same kind of thing. You have a nymph down here, an attractor fly above here that also acts as a strike indicator. This is tied the same way. You can also use a surgeon's knot, but just clip one side and you can tie the other one off here. This next setup here, you'll see a very, very small fly here and a larger attractor pattern here, or a strike indicator fly here. This one's the one very similar, if not exactly like the one you're using on the Green River. And it's connected in a little different way. The leader going to the smaller fly is connected just to the bend of the hook on the fly here. And this is very important because when you're using the blood knot and or the surgeon's knot, you have to keep the diameters fairly similar in size. Now the surgeon's knot, you can vary it more than you can the blood knot, but this you can put any size to anything. This could be 50-pound test if you wanted it to be, and this could be 8X. You can tie it right to here. So you have a very fine leader that goes down to a very small fly. Deadly setup. And this also works well when fish may be taking bigger flies on the surface and then small ones just under the surface. This is another technique here where you can use two attractor patterns. Tied the same way here, just put it right to the bend of the hook with a clinch knot, improved clinch knot, and pull it up tight, and it will come off. And I'm Bill Martz, and that's the angling tip for this show.
Coming up next, a look at Section C, the lower part of the river. Brought to you by Streamline Fly Fishing Products, quality essentials for the fly fisher. A dramatic contrast to the steep canyon walls and gin-clear water of Section A, Section C travels through more open high desert country. Relative to A and B, this is its location on the map. We'll be floating about 9 miles of river. One of the great qualities we found in Dennis's operation is the depth of his guides. They're not a bunch of kids working summer jobs. They're true professional guides, and it really makes a difference. This is Doug Burton. He loves this section of river and knows it like the back of his hand.
Okay.
He's been guiding for several years here and on the Beaverhead River in Montana. In the off-season, he dabbles in real estate and, as he says, this and that.
Well, tell me a little bit about the river, Doug, in this section of the river.
Well, the sediment from Red Creek tends to settle out pretty well above here. We're going to get a lot of big rocky shoals, not quite pocket water because the rocks most of the time are not exposed, but it fishes real similarly to pocket water. We'll hit a couple of slow stretches late in the day with the sediment dropping out again, some sandy bottom stuff in Little Swallow and Big Swallow. But until then, we'll have real similar to our bank structure over here, where we've got nice rocky edges all along.
And where should I put my fly?
In close to the bank or on the drop-off if the drop-off's obvious and out 6 or 8 feet.
What kind of fish do you be looking for down there?
We've got a predominant brown population, but there's also the rainbows and cuts and hybrids that you've seen on the upper river. On days when the browns are active, the non-brown species will be hard to come by. On days when the browns have got their mouth shut, you're surprised how many other fish that you're able to catch.
Oh, really? So the browns kind of are the most aggressive fish here, for the most part.
Yep, they're real moody, and when they're on, they're really on.
Too close? Or?
Might have been just a touch.
Yeah, I'd say. It's fun fishing in this wind. Flies on at least my end of the boat.
Jim's using 2 flies, a size 12 Royal Trude tied in front, and tied to its hook is a cricket pattern with a bright orange spot on its back for better visibility.
We've got a lot of good riffle and rocky structure to fish. Population-wise, we're down from that 20,000 fish per mile right below the dam to where we're around 8,000 or 9,000, I would guess. Pretty comparable, I would say, to the bighorn as far as fish numbers.
Oh, really?
At least that was the last number I'd heard from there, was about 9,000.
No kidding.
And I'll be surprised if we see another boat today.
Well, that's nice. I like that.
That's not quite like the bighorn.
The weather seems to be holding well for us. However, as a small reminder that it is early October, the temperature has taken quite a dip, and as it fell, the wind came up in hefty gusts. So it makes for interesting casting. To better handle the flies, we switched to our G. Loomis 4-piece 8-weights using an Ultra 2 weight-forward line. Jim's leader is about 9 feet, tapered to 3X, and the dropper is tied on with 3X also. Our reels are the STH lever drag model.
Did that on purpose.
The authentic terrestrial.
Oh, you know, that fly just disappeared.
Come on, fish. Keep a hold down there.
You didn't tell me about this part.
Nice brown.
I've got line wrapped all over me.
Yeah, we'll ease in onto the bank. You get a chance to take care of some of that.
It's a good thing he has a good hold of that fly, because there was a long time where I didn't have a hold of him. He took that feet though. Very nice. Well, I see. Pretty good.
Real silvery. Quite a difference between that and the occasional fish that we're seeing already with their spawning colors.
Yeah. Golly. He is. He's bright.
17,
Yeah.
about our typical fish on the B and C stretches.
Didn't need to revive me.
Good job.
For all that lousy casting, anybody can catch a fish down here.
Just a matter of keeping it in on the bank and over the cover.
And off the bank.
That's true.
Close, but not too close. Well,
Okay.
The green is a myopic fly fisher's dream. You can start fishing big attractors as early as May and often fish them all year,
knew I was
right
too
through
close.
to November. This section of the green is particularly nice and a remarkable contrast to that of A and B. There's no one down here, and there's still plenty of willing fish to eat your fly. It's a bit more fragile and subject to the influence of runoff, particularly from Red Creek up in B section. But most of the time, it's very fishable.
Yeah, the cricket is tied on trailer style, as opposed to that Stu-Ap blood knot, the traditional beaverhead dropper knot. The nice thing about that trailer technique is you can fish 2X or 3X to your big fly and then go to 6X or 7X then the midge if you want to.
Uh-huh.
Reach that.
Oh, fish, 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 fish.
Take it.
Come on.
Take it, you fool. Yes. Take us in here in just a little bit, right as soon as we get around these rocks.
Brown trout on the dry fly. Kelly stayed with the cricket-trude combination, and it continued to raise big fish. even on a blustery October day. Doug fishes this combination consistently and has excellent luck with it, whereas some of the other guides prefer a different trailer than the Cricket. Some of it, I'm sure, is that success requires believing in your fly. Doug's a superb boatman, and in a wind like we have today, it really shows. If you decide to bring your own boat to float the Green, the Forest Service requires all to have a spare oar, bailing bucket, and that all passengers wear a Coast Guard approved life vest. Incidentally, you may often see us land our own fish, and that's at our request. Normally, of course, the guide would be right there to give you as much assistance as you wish. Not the world's largest fish, but as Doug pointed out, without them, we wouldn't have big ones next year.
There we go. Nice brownie. Thank you.
Your birthday.
You may have noticed Dennis, our
What's
host,
going on?
is a pretty big guy. Well, suffice it to say, he likes to eat. So as a result, he makes sure his clients are well fed as well.
Feels like we picked the windiest
A spread
half hour of
complete
the
with a
day to
tablecloth, and today, Sloppy Joe sandwiches. A particularly welcome hot lunch on a brisk day.
Thank you.
eat. We'll probably
And of course, to finish it off, a homemade German chocolate cake.
looks like German chocolate cake to me.
Following lunch, we continued our search for the elusive trout and continuing contest with the wind. This is not the day to really show off how great this section fishes, but hopefully it will give you an idea of how good it could be and what your desire to fish it when you visit the Green.
There we
Got
go.
him.
Got him.
Keep tension on him. We'll ease into the rocks here. Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
They're all nice. There we go. Okay. Grace.
Lovely fish.
Long.
You want a net for him?
Sure. There we go. Okay. There we go. Give you those. Get rid of this before it lashes into someone's arm.
Extra hands, right?
There we go. Thank you. What a pretty fish. As we moved downstream, we dropped off a small set of rapids into a steep walled cut called Big Swallow Canyon, and Jim switched to a black flashabugger tied on a size 6 hook to pound the rocks in an attempt to wake up one of those larger fish for which this section is so well known. This is an extremely effective pattern, and if you could only have one fly to fish, I think I'd pick this one for sure.
Come on, fish, wake up.
There we go.
There's a nice fish.
He woke up.
Nice fish. You want me to take you across?
If we can.
Pretty well poked that fish.
I think so. That's a solid fish, I'll tell you that.
That's what we came to get.
One of the interesting features of fishing the Green is you have a chance of hooking a very large trout. There have been brown trout taken out of this lower section up to 15 pounds. You just never know. Particularly with a fly like the woolly bugger, what's going to come up and grab it?
He has some body to it. Oh, beauty. Woo! I love that sound. Capo, isn't it?
I haven't got that good a look at him yet.
Just saw a splash on his face there.
Whatever he is, he's a dandy.
You sure?
Yeah, I think it is a hybrid.
Hey, we ought to use the net on him
Okay.
just in case. Oh, that's a beautiful fish.
You want to do the honors? or
Oh,
you want a
after
little help?
you. I think you. Woo! Look at that.
Lovely.
Ah! Yeah.
There's your 20-inch, 4-pound fish.
And how? He says, fine, I'll leave.
Good
All
job.
That was great.
Before we continue with more trout on the green, let's take a look at the Flaming Gorge Lodge, which are the only convenient accommodations near the green with the exception of camping. At the lodge, they have a filling station, raft rentals, and guide service. You can either rent one of the rooms in the motel, or on the more spacious side, they have condominium units available with full kitchens. There's a small grocery store and a large fly shop well stocked with anything you might need for the river, from fly tying and fishing books, leaders, floating, waders, jackets, and the best freshwater fly selection I've seen anywhere. They sold more than 220,000 flies last year. That's incredible. They even carry our tapes in the store, which are available for rent. All the rooms come with a VCR, and they have an extensive library of tapes available. Next to the store is a coffee shop and dining room serving up a hearty and tasty variety of meals. One person you haven't met is Grace, the motivating and organizational force behind Trout Creek Flies, and Dennis' best friend as well. Grace handles all the bookings, food, and shuttle organization and keeps things running smoothly. That's why we never see her. She's too busy to get to the river. The fellow beside Jim is Walt Mueller, one of our subscribers who met us to fish a couple of days. He's also an accomplished sculptor as well as an excellent fly tyer. We used several patterns he tied on this trip.
The beauty of floating the green is impossible to describe in words, nor even capture accurately on video. Just consider everything you see in the show to be twice as spectacular and beautiful, and you'll most closely approach reality. And this is the first week of October. Granted, it's approaching the end of reliably good weather, but now it is beautiful. We're back in about the middle of Section A for a 2-day campout, which will take us through Section B. This segment is brought to you by 3M Scientific Anglers, the science behind your art. Kelly's fishing with Mike Sargent, and I'm with Carl Stout. Back eddies like this huge pond about a third of the way down Section A are popular spots in which to spend some time. The eddies come in all sizes and shapes, and fishing from a boat gives you the opportunity to try as many as you like. There's certainly no shortage of fish. Just look at the trout working here.
That's great. Whatever works for you.
Kelly and Mike tried a few patterns here, but the fish didn't cooperate. They looked and looked, but no takers. Another remarkable feature of the fish in Section A, and to some extent in Section B, the trout are not particularly spooky. Kelly lays her fly out, and this fish looks it over, then takes an adult close by. You really get to watch fish feeding at an extremely close proximity, which is another great attraction to the green.
Okay.
Kelly's fishing 2 flies, the front a royal trude, and the trailer fly a midge pupa.
Don't see what's gonna come. There we go.
Okay, now he's going to turn around and take off here.
Okay,
So be ready. Uh-oh.
there he goes. Well, that was easy to get on the
I'm
reel.
gonna try and get him over into this big hole here. Hold on, we got him.
Okay. Whoa. Laurel
We'll
and Hardy.
sacrifice the boat for a big fish and It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh yes, come with us out of that fast water.
All right. You want to get out and land him?
Sure, you bet.
Okay.
I'll go this way. Nice going, nice scoop.
I stabbed him. See, without putting my finger in his
Very sharp
teeth,
mouth.
yeah. Let's see if I can get this fly out. Oop.
Those rubber nets are nice.
Yeah, they're nice. They really make a difference.
Okay. Okay, down we go. There we go.
Pretty fish.
Yeah.
Good job, Kelly.
Ah, nice going, Mike.
Nothing prettier.
No,
Came up and took it too.
absolutely
a big
not.
brookie.
Okay.
Especially the ones with the current coming out. You see how the current starts speeding up around these rocks down here?
Yeah.
Fish will be laying right on those. That current line. Okay, I'm going to take you up back over to the right side, and we're just going to cruise that right side bank. That's it. No, don't stay in the current.
Okay.
There he is. Good fish.
Neat white mouth.
Let me get
You're going to have to get out to
Yeah.
land this fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice one. I like this fishing stuff.
Okay, I'm going to swing the front end around here and put the anchor out.
Okay. Ooh,
That's a big one.
That is a big one. Oh, it's
Look
got
at
a
the other one
friend.
chasing it.
That is a nice one.
He's going to figure out that he's hooked here in a second. He's going to bolt on you, so be ready.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, Kelly, this rock is right here.
Okay.
You got it.
A graceful exit.
What we want to do is try and slide him into the slow water so I can have a chance at him. And he might have wrapped you. Nope,
Oh, there he is. Oh, are
He's a
you
fat one.
pretty?
It's another cutthroat.
Okay.
Now you're gonna have to swing him around
I'm going
the back
downstream.
side of this rock now.
There we go. Nice going.
Ooh, now this is a big fish. That's great. He's beautiful.
I think he's quite ready.
No, not that one.
Thank you. God,
That's a good one. I like that.
I like that a lot.
He's about 20. Real fat though.
I like this a lot. Those releases are what do
It
it,
makes a
though.
difference when you can see the fish come up and take the fly. It really
Yeah.
does. Nymphing's fun, but well, I'll tell you, this big dry is the way to go.
Yeah. I can't think of a better note on which to move on to Section B. This is the Little Hole launch ramp, and the end of A and the beginning of Section B. Quite a change in the landscape. As we mentioned earlier, this is a 2-day camping trip, and the Trout Creek Swamper Ed has camp set up and dinner ready. New York steaks, baked potatoes, onion and tomato salad, and we brought the Cabernet. Not a half bad setting either. This is a great way to camp. For those eager enough, night fishing can be rewarding. However, we prefer brandy by firelight. The following morning dawned a hazy, cloud-swathed sky, accompanied by a small hatch of tricos, which were soon carried off by a fresh downstream wind that rose shortly after we did. Jim started out fishing a single fly, a size 12 Royal Trude, on a 3X tippet. He's using the Loomis 4-piece 4-weight again, and it seems to handle the wind and that bulky fly just fine.
Tell me about this lower section.
For the lower section, as you can see, so far this morning, we got some bigger browns down in here. The fish are very healthy down in the lower section down here. They don't see quite as much fishing traffic, as much pressure, and like that last brown you caught, they jump pretty good down here. They're a little bit better average size fish. About 2 or 3 inches average size longer and fatter.
Is this dry fly fishing at this time of year a little unusual?
On most rivers it is, but on the Green it's not. We bring a lot of fish up on the big dries
At this time of year, though?
this time of the year, this late in the fall, and sometimes they'll last all the way through October.
Is that sumac that's turned red there? There we go. Oh, wow. That's
That's a nice
a
fish.
healthy fish. That was a subtle take, too. Can you undo me from the rope?
I sure can. Right where he was supposed to be sitting.
Yes. Is that one of your trained trout?
Yeah. I pay him well.
Wow. Pretty fish.
I've unfortunately seen more big fish broken off right in this little spot than I'd care to think about.
Really?
That's a beautiful brown. Oh.
That's a hybrid, looks like. Almost.
No, that's a brownie in spawning colors.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
look at the red on the tail.
Yeah, that's a... Come on in here now. I'm gonna let you go. I don't believe you, sir. Now
Oh.
that is a gorgeous fish.
That's why we like B section.
Yeah. That's a beautiful fish. Get upstream, Sport. Water seems colder today. Isn't that beautiful? Just sitting there.
As we move deeper into Section B, Mike suggested Kelly wade for a while. An interesting footnote is I had just floated by the same stretch, fishing all the time, and took no fish. But in 45 minutes, Kelly managed to hook and release 7 trout.
First thing you want to think about is the fish's lie. They'll be lying in this pocket water. They'll be lying just real close to the rocks. Say there's a little cushion in front of the rocks. They like to lay right in front, behind, on the current line coming around a rock, and in the shallow little riffles. And what you want to do is, I like to fish it systematically. I go from left to right or right to left or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And
Ooh, there we go.
yeah, good hit.
Woo!
Good hit.
Woohoo!
Woo,
Jumper, where's he going?
It's a baby tarpon. He's going to wrap you if you're not careful.
Let's go up this way.
There you go. There you go. Good job. Little acrobat.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty
he's
colors.
He's a wild fish, though. That's. Oh, see, he's a cutbow.
Oh,
See his
because the
cut?
orange under the
Yeah.
under the mouth.
He's a small one, but he's a wild fish. And in that fly. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And now here's Don Dunkel with a different perspective.
At long last, folks, I've developed a career plan. It's my plan to join the ranks of the homeless by the year 2000. Now, I know it doesn't make much sense to those of you who can afford this video, but it has lots of appeal to me. The homeless, after all, get lots of good press, and a few of them get to meet such notables as Jane Fonda when they're out and about protesting this, that, or the other establishment misdeed. The homeless are not without political clout. They are not without money, and certainly they're not without children. They are simply without a home. I figure I can dump this Southern California house I live in and buy a motorhome. Let's call it a motor coach, otherwise I wouldn't be precisely homeless. In any event, after I dump the house and I bank the surplus and I jump into my $250,000 motor coach, I too can be without a home. Now I'm cooking. I can, for instance, travel to Washington, D.C. and protest the sorry state of campgrounds. I can bewail my plight and help myself to free soup kitchen meals. I can raise hell and make kids with as much abandon as I like, because I won't be working. And I can consort with Teddy Kennedy and any number of notables who think me to be a worthwhile cause. It'll be fantastic. I can claim the same rights that Indians have to the natural resources in this country. And I can stop drinking wine coolers and switch to Coors or Dos Equis, the cans from which I'll leave wherever I damn well please for my colleagues, the bag ladies. Now, when they do the next census, I'm going to step right up and be counted. Better yet, I'll be old and homeless, which ought to get me double billing. I can see it all now in the papers and on the wire services. An 8-minute piece by Tom Brokaw, himself a fly fisher. Old homeless fly fisher says streams should be off limits to yuppies. tired, old, forlorn, downtrodden, homeless fly fisher laments state of Montana waterways. Well, you bet I'm onto something here, folks. Stay tuned. It's going to be great. I'm Don Dunkel. That's what I think. How about you?
The buds are very big.
Whoa!
Oh, good job.
Green River is a unique gem in our national treasury of fly fishing water.
When you visit here, treat this precious jewel well. Release your fish with care and enjoy. Thanks for watching.
See you on the next Fly Fishing Video Magazine.
So long.
All set?
Nice going.
Special thanks to our sustaining sponsors, in alphabetical order. G. Loomis, America's rod maker. Whether you're making an emergency cast 80 feet for a moving tarpon on the flats or that delicate 20-foot presentation to a sipping rainbow on your favorite spring creek, their new IMX fly rods are the best instruments in the world to get the job done. For the traveling angler, G. Loomis offers 4-piece fly rods in a variety of line weights with a patented ferrule system designed so strong and smooth they feel like one-piece rods. G. Loomis, America's rod maker. Scientific Anglers, the science behind your art. 3M's new Mastery series of lines are ideal for tailwater fisheries like the green. The Weight Forward series have a long compound front taper that allows smooth, accurate deliveries at short ranges, yet turn over beautifully and accurately, presenting the fly to that rising trout across the stream. When you travel all the way to a location like the Green River, you want the best equipment to make your trip a success. And for that, the Scientific Anglers Mastery series of lines are the best in the world. See your dealer and try them for yourself. Scientific Anglers, the science behind your art. To STH Reels, a new concept in fly reels for the 90s. The newly redesigned DDR disc drag reel is the most affordable and best value for a quality fly reel on the market. A larger drag surface made from naval bronze, a larger improved drag control, and new handle are just some of the improvements. The DDR is available in 3 sizes to handle lines from 2 through 9. Try one at your dealer today. Priced from $99 to $119, all backed by a 2-year limited warranty. STH, a new concept in fly reels for the 90s. To streamline fly fishing products, designers and manufacturers of the world's finest fly fishing essentials. For fishing the Green River, their new waist-high waders are ideal. Cool and comfortable, whether float fishing from the boat or wading, this is the wader for the Green. And don't forget their many other products, including rain jackets, a Polar Plus jacket with waterproof shoulders and arms, several new lightweight sweaters, and of course, their new Omni and Anadromous vests. Streamline, designing fly fishing essentials for you. And a very special thanks to Dennis Breer, Trout Creek Flies.
Duplication by EK Video. For more information, call 800-729-4455. We have 18 back issues available. For more information, call us at 800-327-2893 or write to Fly Fishing Video Magazine, 4853 152nd Place Southeast, Bellevue, Washington 98006.